Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome back. Hey, so today is 6 days after I did all the mods to the front of the motorcycle, and there's a couple things that I still want to take care of. I'll show you those in just a moment. First of all, I want to thank everybody so far for coming along. If you haven't already and you're watching this video, hit that subscribe button, give me a like, a comment. Typically respond to all comments, especially within the first several days. So with that, let me show you the things that I'm taking care of today before I'm really satisfied. So first of all, this brake line, this is up against this housing quite a bit. And I could fix that by lowering the headlight, but I really don't want to, because I don't want the gap between the headlight and the gauges to be that big. So instead we're going to loosen this up, straighten it out, but I don't want to just do that because I'm afraid that I'll introduce air into the brake system, so we're going to go ahead and bleed the brakes. Lastly, I'm finally going to fix the tail light. I think I'm going to fix the tail light. It's been out for a couple of weeks now. I ordered a whole new tail light. I tried to resolder it last week and it didn't really work out, so I think either I got the inside of this wet, since this is open, I'll show you later, or I burnt the wire or something like that. So with that, let's get started. If you can see my grass, don't pay attention to that. What I want to do is just barely move this. No, not like that. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Now there's no pressure on. There we go. Let's get this reservoir cap off. Brake fluid looks nice and healthy in there. Alright, so what I'm doing here, this is a 3/16 inner diameter tubing. It's a very snug fit. This is for some reason an 11 millimeter. So with no hand on the brake, loosen this up. Okay, brake it a little bit. Push the brake. Tighten. Release the brake. Loosen. Squeeze the brake. Tighten. Release the brake. Yeah, I'm satisfied with that. I'm satisfied that the brakes are bled. Just a quick tip on these, don't remove that all the way off. Just poke 2 holes, one to pour, one to breathe, and make it come out a lot more smoothly, a lot more controlled. Alright, so we're doing this really ghetto. I'm using this as my workstation. It's too humid outside and I'm being a big baby about it. So one of the differences between the light that came on the MK Designs tail kit and this one is that this end is sealed. Maybe the part just fell out from the other one, I don't know, but it's going to allow for no moisture to come in. This wire is also a lot longer, but it's still just as narrow on the end. So let's see what we're going to do here. I'm going to cut some of this off. There we go. Hopefully I didn't damage the wires. Looks like I didn't. That's good. Alright, this gives me a little bit more to work with than what I had previously. I'm going to make this longer than I need for now. Give me some here to work with. Beautiful. Give me some here to work with. Okay, beautiful. Alright, like I mentioned a couple weeks ago, I did get this little set that has a bunch of heat shrink in it, and I'd like to make sure the smallest size fits. It does. My God, thank God it fits. It barely fits. So I'm just going to spread these out just a little bit. There we go. And spread this out just a little bit. There's not many there to spread, but there's some there. And hope it's on there enough to support this. If not, I got plenty of wire, so I'm not really worried about that. Like everything I do, it is not the prettiest, but it's a good connection. Alright, so I got them done. I did all 5. Forgot to put heat shrink on over this to seal this up. So I've got each little individual wire heat shrinked and then one over top of all those, and now I've got this one. The reason why I did this wire, these little wires to these bigger wires, was so that I was able to put these pin connectors on with a more firm connection. These feel a lot better than how they were on the other one. So I'm gonna go test these out. It should be the exact same as they were before, and yeah, then we'll work on getting them on the bike. All right, so I wired everything up. One thing that I do recommend, I was too lazy inside and I used a lighter to get that heat shrink. Don't do that. That's really lazy practice. Once I got out here, I got out my heat gun, which I was too lazy to get out before, and I used that to finish up the heat shrink. That's the way you should be doing it, not the lazy way I was doing it with the lighter. But anyway, let's take a look. Hey, yeah, got our light back. Brake light. Let's go take it for a ride now. All right. This is really the maiden voyage since I did all the stuff on the front. So we're gonna get a good feel for whether I like this or not here on this ride. Oh, okay. So I'm a lot more forward. Holy shit. Good news is, with some wind resistance, it don't feel bad because the wind is pushing me up just a little bit. I decided not to run the front camera because of how much more forward I am. So I either won't run it at all, or I'll get something to hold it up a little higher to get a better angle. Yeah, holy shit. I feel like I'm gonna fall over the front. I gotta bring this brake lever up a little bit. Somebody in the comments, I apologize if I don't remember the name, told me something really nice, and I appreciate it. He or she said, I really like your can-do attitude. Somebody else had asked me or said something about you're wild, or you got a lot of balls because of the stuff I'm doing that potentially void the warranty. And yeah, you're right. I don't have any formal motorcycle mechanic training, and I definitely don't suggest that you take everything I do as 100% the way to do it, because it probably isn't. Yeah, so I'm making my own risks here, you know, doing this stuff, but I feel confident in what I'm doing, and I'm going to give credit there to my time in the Marine Corps. In the Marine Corps, I was a helicopter mechanic. I worked on engines, gearboxes, drive shafts, rotor heads from an organizational level standpoint, which meant, you know, I remove and replace. I didn't get inside the components. And we had a manual, a really thick manual for every single thing, every single part of the helicopter. And it was, all these things were supposedly written to be understood between the 8th and 10th grade level. I learned right there in the Marines, just follow the instructions.
I like your tattoo, bro.
Thank you. Thank you. But you know, the longer I worked on those things, the more I had to troubleshoot. And troubleshooting something is really what gives you, I think, mechanical, not know-how, but at least aptitude. Or aptitude, rather. You've heard me bitch in all these videos that I got no instructions, and that's not really all that bad, because I can usually figure out, well, if this needs to go here and this needs to go here, how do I get it there? And sometimes I do get myself in a little bit of trouble, and a lot of times I edit that stuff out. Not the trouble necessarily, but you know, I have to backtrack quite a bit. The stuff I did on the front end last week took me 4 hours. I'm convinced that somebody who knows what they're doing probably could do it in an hour and a half or less. But I did, I guessed a lot, and I backtracked a lot to fix the things that I messed up the first time. And that's alright.
It's a learning experience. So if you're watching my videos and you're thinking of doing some of these same mods or similar mods to your bike, man, please do, please do. I don't think there's enough content out there on these things. I really don't. Please, please, please don't say, well, I learned how to do this from Mike Branch, because man, I would feel awful if something happened to you if you did your work based on my learning experiences. Does that make sense? So do you, if it makes sense to you, if what I'm doing makes sense to you, then by all means you do it too, you know. But, you know, keep in mind the warranty's voided from all the shit that I've done. Most notably, you know, chopping off the subframe, that really did it. So we'll get back to the house and we'll wrap this thing up.
Anyway, that's going to wrap this one up. Thanks for coming along with me while I checked out my work, basically, from both last week and the brake bleed. I'm really happy about how everything turned out so far. Going to have to get used to riding in the more forward-leaning position, but that'll come with time. I'm convinced with that. And plus, when I'm going over 50, 60, it'll give me a little bit of push. Anyway, so until next time, we'll see you later.